Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Gine, and it's Gine's signature. So today I'll be making this beautiful top. Actually, from the thumbnail, it was a gown, but my client requested that I make it as a top for her, and she's going to be wearing this with a trouser. So I didn't show the trouser part because, of course, I have tons of tutorial on how to make trousers. So that's why I didn't bother. So I just concentrated on this beautiful, simple top that she's going to be wearing with a trouser. So now if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. Don't mind the camera, I didn't do justice. Actually, this thing came out beautiful. And I decided to add a zipper for her own at the back because she's an adult, she's a matured person. But if you want, you may ignore the zip part. So now I'll be cutting the back part first before I'll use the same paper to adjust whatever I have to adjust for the front piece. So now I have my fabric folded, my paper folded into two, and I've of course ruled out my zipper allowance of 1 inch. So the next thing I'm doing now is to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then I added half an inch to that. And whatever I had on that upper part, I'm bringing it out my armhole, so I'll just be connecting that. So now the length of this is going to be entirely dependent on you. So wherever you want yours to get to, maybe your bust point, you may use your bust point, or you may use your under bust measurement, or but not up to the waistline anyways, because you're going to be carving this out and it has to go up. So it's either you use your bust point length or your under bust measurement. Yeah, so that is what I have there. So what I have on that place is 12 inches. So now I'll just get 3.5 inches for my neck width, and then I came down by 1 inch for the neck depth for this back. So now we're drafting the back piece. Now I'm going to be measuring my bust measurement divided by 4. That gave me 10, and then I added 2 inches sewing allowance. Now I'll be getting the midpoint for the armhole, and then I'll be carving out my armhole like so. So like I said, I'm drafting the back piece first. So whatever I have on the bust point at the armhole is what I'll just be extending the line to meet like so. So that is what we have. So we're basically through with the back piece, and then I'll be cutting this out. So now if you feel like you want to add some that to this, you can add beside that to it in the front piece, but I'm not just going to be doing that. I'm just going to be sewing it just the way I will. So now I've cut out the armhole, and then I'll be slanting the shoulders like so. And then keeping in mind that I have to add my shoulder allowance. So that is the zipper allowance, and then to avoid stories that touch or avoid bulginess of the zipper area, I just slanted it out by half an inch like so, and then I'll be cutting that out as well. So I'm just going to be placing this on my fabric and then cut out the back piece first before coming back to adjust for the front piece. So I've gone ahead to do that, and when I was cutting this, I made sure that I added half an inch at the lower part as my sewing allowance, because I'll be adding gathers to that lower part. So I'm setting that aside, and then I'll be working on the front piece. So now this was on fold, it was in two. I don't think I need the two pieces, so I'll just remove one piece and then make do with one piece. So now I'll be folding in the 1 inch for the zipper allowance, or just cut it out because it's of no use again. So just cut it out, trim it out. And then this is what we have. So the first thing I'll be adjusting is my armhole. I'll just come in by half an inch and then carve out my armhole to the front armhole that is supposed to be. And then the next thing is to get my neck depth. So considering that I've already removed 1 inch, so I'll be coming down for the front neck depth by 3 inches. And so this will be a round neckline as well. So I'll just be cutting out all this to make it my front pattern. And then of course I'll be coming down by 4 inches for the gap in the front, the slit in the front of the neckline. So I'll just trim out my armhole as well. So now this is quite beginner friendly, so if you're a beginner, this should be very easy for you. So now when you look at the thumbnail very well, you'll see that the distance between the gap in the front and the gathers that came for the front piece was like about a 1.5 inches, or thereabout. So I came down for the neck gap for 1 inch, and then came down by 1.5 inches from the gap that I left, and then marked whatever that was. I just came down by 1.5 inches from there. That's what I'm trying to show you. And then I'll carve it out to meet the edge of this like so, using my curved ruler. But if you feel like your free hand will do the trick, please kindly go ahead and use your free hand. So you just carve it out like so, as if you are drawing an arc, like so. So I'm just trying to use my hand to trace this out very well. So I'm just going to be basically cutting this out. Now remember, this paper is not on fold, but if I want to cut on the fabric, I have to cut the fabric on fold. So this is what we should be having. So if you have something like this, you're good to go. So I'm going to be using the leftover fabric from after I've cut out my back pieces, and then I'll place my fabric like this, and then place something on it, so you can use your pins to hold it down. So like, yeah, I made use of 3 yards of fabric, and this material is called jonkoso. It's called jonkoso, so that is what I made use of anyways. So I left half an inch at that lower part, as you can see, and then I'll be tracing this out like so. And so this is what we have. So I'll have to slit the front gap, as you can see. I slit it open by 4 inches. So this is what we have. So when you open it up, it should be looking like this. So this is what we have. So you can see the arc shape in the front, and then the inches, that is the distance between the arc and the gap. So now we're using facing for this. I would advise you make use of a facing. Please don't use bias. Bias will not make this work to be neat. I would advise you make use of a facing. So I'll be making use of a facing. I'm just going to be going ahead to cut out my facings, and then I'll be right back to show you the next step. So I've gone ahead to cut out my facings, and I've used it to turn out my fabric. So you can see the front piece. I've used the facing that I cut out to turn the neckline, and then ironed it. I gave it a very good press, so everything is laying flat. I did the same thing for the back, and then I've attached my zipper, as you can see. I've gone ahead to attach the zipper. Like I told you, this style is for an adult. It's a matured person that is wearing this, so she does not want discomfort. That is why she told me to add zipper. But if you are a young person, the gap in the front should do well, more than enough for you. You don't need to put a zipper. But if you still prefer having a zipper, please go ahead and do that. So I've gone ahead to cut out the length for the remaining length of the top, and I made it in form of gathers. I gathered it up, and then I'll be attaching that for the back. And then for the front parts, I cut out the same length as well, and then I'll be attaching it like so. So I gave it a very good gathers. So for the front part, you can see that the gathers are more obvious than that of the back, because I felt like it's the front that carries the beauty more than the back. So I decided to make the gathers in the front more fuller than that of the back. So I've gone ahead to join it. As you can see, this is how the front is looking. Our clothes is almost ready, so I've joined it, and this is how it looks like. So as you saw on the thumbnail, this was how the thing came out looking. And then of course, this is the back piece. I've gone ahead to join this as well. So now the next thing to do is to join it on the shoulders. Take out my sewing allowances on the sides of 2 inches, or preferably I would use 1 inch, because I don't want it to be too tight. The only place that will be tight will be, of course, the bust area, because that's where the fitting of this style is going to be. So the bust area is supposed to be your actual client's bust round circumference, and then you can just add like half an inch for ease. Yeah, and then you're good to go. So I've cut out the sleeves. It's just normal basic sleeves, and then I'll be attaching to that as well. So I've gone ahead to do it, and this is how it came out. I don't know, the camera is not really doing justice to this, but it came out as you saw on the thumbnail. When I did the video, I had to accessorize the neckline so that it will not just be plain white, because it being plain white is really not good. So I accessorized the neckline by placing some fittings on it, and it came out looking beautiful. So it's very beautiful, and my clients really enjoyed it. So this kind of style, so if you don't need to wear any chain or necklace on your neckline, because this is already accessorized, so it gives the feeling that you're already wearing something on your neck, and it came out very beautiful. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share. And like I always say, this is Genie Signatures. If you have any questions, please kindly feel free to ask in the comment section. Kindly feel free to comment. Kindly feel free to share. It costs you nothing. Yeah, it's free. So thank you all, and God bless you. So see you all on my next tutorial. And like I always say, this is Genie Signatures, and I'm signing out. Thank you all, and God bless you. See you all. Ciao. Kisses.